When someone dies or disincarnates, where do they go? You've surely heard of the tunnel of light that some people see during near-death experiences. Also, when mediums send disincarnated individuals to the light. What do they mean? Many say it's a trap, others that it's a normal process in the cycle of reincarnation. Both, or a simple trick. Stay until the end of the video to learn what it really is, its purpose, and if it's possible to avoid it. These questions will be answered through interdimensional vision. Planetary Systems. In this video, I'm not going to explain why we incarnate, how we came to exist, our origins, or many other existential questions that simply don't resolve the current situation. We must focus on what's in front of us. If we're truly trapped in reincarnation, we must know what's required to escape. Planetary systems are a set of territories prepared for creator consciousnesses to incarnate. They are located in the lowest and densest zone of expansion. This first level of expansion includes what we know as the astral plane in all its densities and the material plane, which is the densest zone of that astral plane, located at the bottom in terms of frequency and vibration, a sub-creation. What we know as planet Earth also belongs to a system of planets. There are surely thousands or millions of planetary systems distributed throughout this reincarnation zone. There are some planetary systems that are denser than others, and some planets within that system of planets that are denser than other planets. However, to enter or leave any planet, you must comply with the laws governing this zone of reincarnation. You cannot change planets or territories without having left in accordance with these laws, which we have already explained in a video. This means that to leave one planet or to change your reincarnation to another, you must leave the current cycle of reincarnation. The Cycle of Reincarnations. We can call the Cycle of Reincarnations the process that begins from the moment we start to reincarnate until we are able to leave, in accordance with the laws of the reincarnation zone. To leave the cycle of reincarnation, it is necessary to have no debts due to contracts established with the archons or the administrators of this entire complicated system. These astral or energetic contracts must be cancelled while we are alive, using our consciousness as a physical avatar, either directly or indirectly. As long as we have debts with these interdimensional entities, we must continue reincarnating because the conditions for leaving have not been met. It is possible that a reincarnation cycle may begin in a planet system with a lighter density and may end in another with a heavier density like Earth. But this is a special case. It is not due to having left the reincarnation cycle on its own, but rather as a result of what we will call essence trafficking, which we will explain in a later video. Earth, a very complicated territory. According to our research with the interdimensional vision, this planet is surely one of the densest in the entire reincarnation zone. The density level of this territory does not allow the life form called human being to have the faculties to facilitate the cancellation of energetic or astral contracts, which must be done directly on the astral plane, directed from the physical plane by the consciousness of a physical avatar. The way events are handled on this planet, the conditions of this human being, the good landscapes, forms of entertainment, a global system that keeps its inhabitants manipulated, and the misinformation about our existence spread through religions, magic orders, and spiritual currents make it extremely difficult to realize the conditions for breaking out of the cycle of reincarnation while living here. It's very similar to a camouflaged prison where much people love to be, but others do not, because they have realized the true nature and purpose of this territory. Because this is a place with an extreme level of complexity throughout the reincarnation zone, there are very subtle traps, as many establish contracts with these entities to achieve a good life and avoid suffering as much in the process. This is the true business of the archons. Because almost all those who incarnate here have completely succumbed to this archon trap. They have contaminated their essence to such an extent that they have allowed it to be trapped and imprisoned in archon facilities, subjected to experiments and atrocious energy extraction. Let us remember that the essence is the true being that each of us is in our primordial or total form. Unification, fractal, essence. Each of us is a creator consciousness of light, which we will call essence. Each essence is independent of others and unique. When an essence reincarnates, it distributes a small fractal of its being and directs it to the reincarnation zone, where it is prepared and is assigned an energetic and physical body. When death occurs, the physical body separates from the energetic body, and the avatar's consciousness completely transfers to the energetic body's consciousness. This new state, what people call disembodied, specters, or ghosts. At some point after death, many claim that the well-known tunnel of light appears, where we once again become one with God, the universe, the divine, the source, or our creator. That's why many psychics, mediums, and religious believers say we must go to the light, because it's a natural process. Is that true? After disincarnating, is it possible as a fractal to unify with our essence and leave the cycle of reincarnations? Not only is it possible, but it is what actually happens after exiting the cycle of reincarnation. However, in order to leave the cycle of reincarnations, one must comply with the laws and conditions of the planetary system. One must not owe any debt to any archon. To exit the cycle, one must cancel all contracts. One cannot have any outstanding contracts. The other question we may ask ourselves is, how can someone unify with their essence if it is imprisoned in an archon facility? It simply cannot be done. So this fusion with the source, the creator, or the universe, which many believe occurs when we pass through the tunnel of light, is a deception intended to normalize a process carried out by these archons. What is the tunnel of light? People who had a near-death experience have claimed to have seen a tunnel of light or a similar scenario. Many have reported seeing a spiritual characters according to their religious beliefs. Seeing Jesus or God if you are Christian, for example. Seeing Buddha if you are Buddhist. Or seeing your family if you don't believe in divine beings. Hence, what is seen through the tunnel can be heaven, the fifth dimension, paradise, Valhalla, or nirvana. Scenarios according to the disincarnated person's belief pattern, which remains even after the death of the physical body. So, if the scenario and the characters are variable, it is because it is manipulated. Someone is taking information from our energy field to create the corresponding scenario so as not to generate friction or any opposition to resist what will happen next. Every time a life ends, the fractal must be prepared for the next incarnation if it hasn't met the conditions to leave the reincarnation system on that planet or territory. But at that moment, when consciousness is still a little confused, if the archons in charge of carrying the disincarnated person appear in their true form, resembling beasts. They may be mistaken for demons or appear hostile, causing the disincarnated person to flee. Rather, they seek to take the person to the place where the preparation process will take place, preferably without resistance. Therefore, the person must be transported to the facility where they will be prepared for the next life. Therefore, the tunnel of light scenario is a camouflage that changes according to beliefs, but it is actually a portal leading to that facility or archon base, where the fractal of consciousness is prepared to incarnate again, where new contracts will be established and a new energy body will be assigned. When the tunnel of light appears, there's no way around it. Sooner or later, the disincarnated person must enter it. The way to avoid this situation and the appearance of archon characters is to cancel one's energetic or astral contracts while alive, so that when the time comes to die, one can leave without owing anything to any of these dark entities. Does that mean there are no other options? See you in the next video to see all the options available to the disembodied.